Good morning, friends. We are on chapter number 6 of account part 2, that is cash flow statement, and in that we are on classification of cash flow activities. So, today we will talk about the first activities, which is operating activities. So, topic for today is operating activities and cash flow from operating activities. Operating activities and cash flow from operating activities. Operating activities are activities that emerge from profit and loss statement. Transactions recorded in profit and loss statements are classified for these activities. In this context, operating expenses related discussion is done in the previous chapter of ratio analysis. Operating profit, we know how to calculate, we already learned that chapter. Here also we will learn. Operating activities, friends, are the main activities of business, and profit because of such activities are known as operating profit. Okay, so normally the transactions recorded in profit and loss statements are classified for these activities. Definition: operating activities means activities of business to earn income which are neither investing activities nor financing activities. These are those activities on the basis of which the main income of business is created. The identification of operating activities is determined on the basis of nature of industry of a business unit. The identification of operating activity of each business is based on the nature of business. This discussion is pertaining to main activities of income generation. So, friend, very simple. The activities which are the main source of income are operating activities, and profit out of those activities is known as profit from operating activities. Let us talk about the identification of operating activities for different kind of companies or different industries. First, trading company. Suppose it is a trading company, then for this kind of company, activities of purchase, sales, goods are main activities of income generation. And if suppose it is an insurance company, then the insurance company are not buying or selling goods. So for such companies, premium income and payment of claim are the main activities of income generation. If it is a bank, for this kind of business unit, lending of loan and acceptance of deposits are main activities of income generation. Generally, by dividing forms of company in two categories, clarity can be obtained: non-finance companies, finance companies. The cash flow emerging given in the operating activities of both types of companies can be narrated as under. Cash flow from operating activities. We will classify the company in two parts: one non-finance company, another financial companies. For non-finance companies, the operating activities like income or receipt from goods or services, or income or receipt from commission or royalty, or any other income which is not arise from investing activities, or collection from debtors and bills receivable, payment for purchase of goods and services, payment to creditors and for bills payables, salary, wages, or any amount paid to employee, for example, bonus, sales or distribution, expense, receipt of income tax refund, or payment of tax on other than investing and financial activities. So friends, generally these are the main activity and which are known as operating activities. If we talk about non-finance company, purchase of securities, because they are doing for finance company, for finance company, their business is to accept deposit and give finance normally. So purchase of securities, interest paid on deposits or loan, sale of securities, interest received on securities, interest received on lended loan, salary or bonus paid to employee, for example bonus, receipt of income tax refund or payment of tax on other than investing and financing activities. So friend, this was about the operating activity in detail. Also we will learn when we will be doing practical sums, you will come to know about it. Let us take an example and see whether the activity is operating or not. Say for example, salary paid. So salary paid, yes, it is a operating activity because it is a transaction of profit and loss statement. Wages paid, it is also operating activity because it is a transaction of profit and loss statement. Now loan borrowed. Friends, loan borrowed is not the main activity of business, so it is not a operating activity, it is a transaction of equity and liability. The same way debenture redeem, it is also non-operating activity. It is also a non-operating activity, it is not a operating activity, and it is a transaction of equity and liabilities. Received from debtors, yes, it is a operating activity because debtors are arise from sales and sales is a operating activity, right? Paid for bills payable, it is a operating activity because bills payable are arise from creditors and creditors are arise from purchase and purchase is a operating activity. So bills payable payment is also a operating activity. What else? Sales of machine on cash. Machine is a investment kind of activity. Machine is a one kind of investment, so non-operating activity, it is a transaction of asset. Brokerage received, it is a routine one, yes, it is a operating activity and it is a transaction of profit and loss account. Okay friend, so this was all about. Let's take few more. Suppose purchase of furniture, so it is again a transaction of asset, it is not a operating activity. Interest received on investment. Friend, investments are asset and interest received on investment is a part of investment. That means it is a transaction of asset, so again it is not a operating activity. Now paid interest on loan. Friends, interest paid on loan, it is again not an operating activity because loan is a liability and its paid interest is a result of liability, transaction of equity and liability. Income tax refund, yes, it is a operating activity when no clarification is provided whether it is refund of financing or investing activity, it will be treated as operating activity. So friends, income tax refund, if it is mentioned that it belongs to investing activity or finance activity, then we will not consider it as operating one, and in case nothing is given, then we will consider it as operating activity. There are certain transactions which are always included in operating activity, for example salary, wages, bonus to workers, employee welfare expenses, etc. So this was all about operating activities. In next lecture next video we will be learning about investing activity. Thank you.